All right, so let's do the normals. So let's take the normals away. And now we need, sometimes when you apply the normal maps, you feel that you need to increase the intensity of the normal. How we can do this? First, we need to bring the normal, all right, and we need to build a new parameter called intensity, normal intensity. So normal intensity, right. So the normal intensity actually need to control the normal here. So how we can do this? Right, you need, as you know, that the normal has x, y, and z, and x and y we need actually to control them together, and the z will be a fixed value. That's why it has only a blue color. So how we can do this? We need to search for make float, and this make float actually can control only the x and y, and let's make the z as a fixed value. So like I said, this should be 1. And when you play with the intensity, you are changing the value of x and y while z is still fixed. Right, so now once you increase this intensity, it will control x and y. Then we need multiply m and then click, and then control this with a and b, and then we need to connect the intensity with this value. So let's link it here, and I think the intensity, the normal is ready. So let's say normal, and I think normals is fine so far. All right, what is remaining? I think it is roughness. So let's do the roughness. Roughness here is 2 different ways. Like I said, that's our plan from the beginning. We have a roughness map and we have roughness zone. This is just a map controlled once, and this is actually more detailed or more controlled by zones. So let's bring both. Let's take this one and let's press T and then click. Let's name it as roughness. And I want to make a group only for roughness. All right. And let's bring the other one, which is roughness zones. And let's put the roughness zones here. And let's change it to roughness zones. All right, and let's group it in roughness. This group is very important in the sub material. I will speak about it later, and also I will sort the priority later. So let's work on the roughness zones. First, before working on the roughness zones, we need to build a switcher. So we need something called static switch. So the switcher basically asks the user if you want to use this only maps, or you can use the zones and control it in Unreal. So I will leave the switch right now here, and I will build each one of them and all of the effects we need. So the roughness zones, let's start with the roughness zones. As we know that we have R, G, B, A, every one of them has a separate map. Then in order to have a slider controller for each and get more controller, then we need 4 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So each one of them will control each channel. Right. So in order to control each one of them from 0 to 1, then we need a fixed value, which is 1. This is just number 1, as the channel itself will start from 0. So this will go for A to each. Okay. A, and finally A. All right. Great. Then we need to have each one of them connected to B as a controller. But in Unreal, the maps comes from Photoshop, or the way we're working. It's slightly in the opposite way. So we need to use something can mediate these relations called -1 or 1-. 1- actually can reverse the the colors. So we need 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So each value comes from here will have to go to be inverted -1 to all. So R, G, B, and then alpha, okay, connected to this value. So where is the controllers? The controllers should be a parameter. This is the slider we need to control in this submaterial. So how to do this? Again, build a value and convert it to a parameter. Let's name it roughness 01, and we need 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roughness 01, 02, 03, and finally 04. Alright, and now we need to connect all of them to alphas. These are the controllers. So connect this is to alpha. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now in the submaterial you can control these, and the slider will start from 0 to 1. Alright, let's push them slightly away. This is slightly away. Okay, now we need to combine these values together in one controller, because we need only one output to go to the roughness or to the switcher here. So how we can do this? Again, multiplier, multiplier. So let's connect them again. So the 4 outputs became only 2 right now, right? So the 1 here and 1 there. So we need actually 1 multiply again to combine these 2 in order to be only 1 output. Alright, so far so good. Now, if you're in a switcher and you don't want to work on the roughness maps, then you need to work on a value, right? Because you don't have now a map. You need to work on a 0 to 1. So initially, for example, the translucency here, if you don't have a map, you can actually provide a value. And in roughness, usually, if you press 0, then you will find the face of the human looks like he's washed by water, as if like a water or a glossy effect on his face. Then we need to build a roughness value that can control this parameters. So let's do it. Let's name it as roughness. Roughness base. This roughness base actually, like I said, starting from 0 to 1. All right. Let's leave it here right now. Okay. And we can combine both together. So let's have a multiply. And now once you click on a switcher and go to this effect, then you can actually control first from 0 to 1 or -1, whatever, just to set the roughness for the entire face. Then you need to exclude each one of these effects later. So let's right now get the switcher. Now we have the roughness maps, okay, and we need to set the switcher. Now I want to make sure that this can go for true, absolutely true, but we need to set a pool value or pool parameter. So let's search for a pool. We need to search for static pool here. We actually, yeah, I think we need to go for the parameter. So we need to search for static pool parameter. This is static pool parameter. We can ask the user if you want to use roughness map, and the default value here will be false. So this will be the controller. So the user will control this value. That's why we attach that to the value. If the person clicked on false, then the false will take him to this choice, which is controlling by the channels. All right, I think so far so good. Now we can take this directly to the roughness. But wait, there is some more work need to be done. First, we need to add also the cavity roughness. We haven't spoke about it yet. And also, we need to add the effect of Fresnel as well. I think that helps. Mostly I've used it. So in order to build this quickly system, search for Fresnel. All right. And also you need a parameter for Fresnel. Let's name it as and we need to multiply to connect both together. All right, and as usual, as we have done that in the base color, when you have a Fresnel and you want to add it to the entire maps, you need add, not multiply. All right, so multiply can combine the parameter, but if you want to add it to the maps, you need add. So again, we need add here, a click, and then combine this value to B, and this is the main one, comes to A. So far, so good. All right. Now what is missing is the cavity roughness. So how we can do this? We need actually to bring multiply, and we need to connect both. What we can get here as B, and we need to bring the cavity map here, go the way down to multiply here. So now, finally, we have just added an effect on the switcher, and now we have added the cavity map to the whole system of the roughness. But we need more controller. We need to have a loop system that can make us choose the best roughness cavity. So we need a loop, all right? And we need a parameter called roughness cavity. All right, and now in this roughness cavity, this is the controller we are going to use. Then we need to put it on alpha, and everything comes here will be as B, because this is the combination between cavity, map, and we have everything, we have done it here. However, we also need this one to be the A, because this is the main maps. This is the main maps. So we are actually taking the value from everything here to the value that add the cavity. I think we're okay so far, so good here. We can take what we can get from here as roughness finally. Okay, you actually can set the specularity to a value as well. Then you can take this one, Control C, Control V, and you can set it as specular, and you can name it as specular. And I think your system is ready for applying your maps. All right, but before doing anything, you need to set groups. And what I'm trying to say here is, if you have this head instance, this is what we have, but we haven't saved, so you need to apply first. All right, and also, can you see this? This is actually the numbering system. So this is a mess. If you adjusted the priority here, then you can do whatever you want. You can, if you set the priority here, then you can see this order will be great. So let's do it. First, we need to adjust the priority. So this is the base color 0. This should be number 1. Should be number 1. So the brightness itself. This is number 2. All right. And cavity. And let's go to the cavity. This is the cavity group. Let's make it 0. This is number 1. Cavity. And then we can name it number 1 here. And this comes number 3. All right. And let's go to the normals. This is normal. We don't have a normal group, so normal. Number 0. Number 1. All right, and let's go to the roughness. Actually, the roughness is slightly bigger, so we can take everything here as roughness, and everything inside will be saved in the group. So this is roughness. Let's say, where is the roughness base? Roughness base should be roughness number 1. All right, and this is number 2, because I need the user to switch after choosing the roughness base, then jump to the switcher. And the switcher makes this one as number 3 because the person might use the maps at the first, and then once you choose that, you might use Fresnel, maybe. I think this is number, yeah, this is number 4. And I think this is can go for, we can set it for, right, so we can go for roughness zones. This is should be number 5. And then we need, yes, we need roughness cavity here is to be maybe number 10. You can actually set it on the roughness or maybe the cavity. I will leave it in number 10. I think our system is ready to go now, and all we have to do is to apply and save and get the child or the sub, the instance, and add it to the character. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.